Hey, Mr. Matt Jackson.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm all right. So this is your first NAMM?
It is my first NAMM, yeah, first time in the US as well, yeah.
Wow, so a lot of firsts. And this is the first time that we've seen the Modal Electronics Craft synth, which is your baby, right?
That's right, yeah.
So just a bit of background on that. How did you kind of come up with the concept? Where did it come from?
So I basically wanted to make my own synthesizer, and the first version of Craft that I came up with was a metal enclosure with nice brushed aluminium knobs and that sort of thing. Did all the same stuff that this one does, but in its state it wasn't really, it cost too much to make to compete in the market basically. So I approached Modal and they agreed on that front, and I went away and redesigned it in a way that basically it keeps all the bells and whistles, all the features that it had originally and that you would expect a £400, £500, £600 mono synth to have, but it's stripped right back into something that just keeps all the essential elements there and gets rid of anything superfluous. And what we've ended up with is actually something that is really unique and actually has a lot of extra fun things you can do with it because of that. Yeah.
And what are we seeing here? Because we've seen the app, which is an iOS app that we can edit the sounds on.
Yeah.
And now you've got a bunch running together, right? So what's happening here?
So you're right, the app that we've got at the moment, iOS and OS X, coming to other platforms soon as well, that you can plug multiple crafts in and play them at the same time. And what we're showing here is something that we're going to build into a soon future update for the app, which is the ability to, using MIDI routings and multiple voices, actually make your own polysynth by chaining these together. And not just a polysynth, also a multi-timbre synth, depending on the way you want to set it up and the way you want to route your MIDI.
So what's happening here? We've got five crafts.
That's right, five crafts. At the moment they're all running the same patch, the same sound preset. And when I play a key on the keyboard, it basically allocates a voice, one of the crafts, to that key. And so 5 crafts, we've got a 5-voice poly.
So what happens if you want to change the sound?
So if you want to change the sound, it's the same as if you're running a single craft. You need to send it a program change message you can do through the app.
Or what about actually edit the sound?
Oh, editing the sound, sure. So the way we've got it set up at the moment is if I'm playing a sound and I adjust, say, for example, the low pass filter cutoff.
And that's mapping to all of them at the same time?
That MIDI CC is going from the craft to the app and then back to all of the other crafts so that you can edit every voice at the same time.
Well, that's nifty. So does that mean you could have, say, 2 crafts and have one in edit page 1 and one in edit page 2, so you access all of the knob?
You can indeed, yes, well spotted,
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So you can play a 4-voice poly, but the audio you have to sum in audio, because obviously there's no audio over USB, so it would be, you mix the audio.
For sure. And I've also got a few, so these 4 assignable knobs here, I've set to amplitude envelope ADSR, which is something that's normally only accessible via the app.
The editor,
so it shows another way you can, break out the controls of the synth to your MIDI keyboard.
All right, so you could actually edit the sound on all of them from the sync.
Yeah, so if I increase the attack there, so you're kind of designing the way you want to edit your sound on whichever devices you've got plugged in and set up.
All right, and what about other ways? Because you said about multi-timbrality as well.
That's right, so another example here. So I've got this key set up as a program change message, and that tells each one of my crafts to go to a different preset. And in this mode, rather than all running the same preset sound, this one's running a little kick drum sound, which is assigned to this octave. And then, and we can also use, because that's on its own now and it's not the same preset as all the others, I can, for example, shift the octave up on that one.
So you can edit it separately, right?
You can edit it separately now, that's right. This next craft is running a bass line on the octave above. And then on the octaves above that, we're using these three as effectively a 3-voice poly, so you can play.
Oh, so that's interesting. So the flexibility is down to just how you route the MIDI, effectively. Yeah?
Absolutely, and we're thinking if you've got 10 of these and you want a kick, a snare, a hi-hat, a bass line, lead, really hope people are going to make it their own. And it's, again, this is the whole concept of the craft, is when you strip it back and you make it so versatile, people can really, you know, make it their own in a way that you might not be able to with something that costs more.
And when are you thinking about these features being able to be rolled out into the iOS apps? The iOS app would be at the hub of all of this, right?
That's right, yeah. So it's planned for the next release of the app, which we're working on at the moment.
So physically, to run all of this, you need a powered USB hub, and that would all go into the iOS device or the Android device or whatever it may be, right?
That's right. So yeah, a powered USB hub to make sure that they can get enough current to power them, and then they should all show up on your, you know, through the one USB port, and it finds them all, gives you a tab for each one, like the app currently does.
So this begs the question, I mean, we saw a red one in the background of the publicity shots for the main craft.
Yes.
Is that just a different colour, or have you got others planned?
It is different colour, but yes, we do have others planned. This is part of the first in a range of devices that are going to be interoperable, and you know, this is a monophonic synthesizer. Imagine what you might want in a range beyond that. Not going to give too much away at this point. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Matt.
All right, thank you.